discountgoldandsilvertrading.net, and the programs are all up. They're all working well, and I appreciate the patience for you, the listeners out there who go to the website to listen to the programs, and stuff happens. And but when stuff happens, the only thing we can do is fix it. So today, gold. And it certainly happened in gold today, and certainly I think we'll see it fixed in the not too far distant future. And gold was down $26 right now at $868.80. We're showing silver down 66 at $12.14. Platinum negative there, 14 at 11.51. But you have palladium. Palladium? That's a good one. Palladium.
Crossbreeding.
Palladium.
Crossbreeding.
That tickled me. Palladium up 3 at 227. So there we have it at palladium. And we have Robert Chapman joining us from the International Forecaster. He's here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we do appreciate him joining us, and we do thank him. And good afternoon, Bob.
Well, good afternoon, Giggles.
Oh, I know. Sometimes I do something that just tickles me. So.
Palladium. Well, interest rates are continuing to climb, 0.94 on the 2-year paper, and I think the 0.70 was the low on that. And the 10-year paper is over 292. I'll get another beat on that in a minute. That's significant, though, because it's going to put the 30-year mortgage rates up a little bit if it stays there during the course of the week. Market was off 42, had been off. That's 79.76. The 10-year is 292. That's right. And it was off 150 points. It should have been off 150 points. But toward the end, our government came in again and boosted it up. Now, you're probably wondering why gold and silver are down. And it's because a lot of people are not familiar with the possible sale of gold by the IMF. First of all, last Thursday, Alistair Darling, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Secretary of Treasurer in England, said, well, they might sell more than 403 tons. And just left it like a dangling participle. And what was made coherent over the weekend was that the official communique was that, yes, still IMF wants to sell gold, and but they said it would probably be done off the markets because there are a number of nations that would like to buy in size. Now, the damage was already done. Some people didn't know there was going to be a possible sale. They hadn't been following this for the last year or so. And when they heard there was going to be more, they got frightened and they got out of the market. This was done to keep the market, stock market, up because I think there's some dreadful news coming. The first part is terrible, terrible earnings, and far worse than what are expected, and a number of other business things. I think this government-private partnership, as they call it, that it has been formed so that they can sell or buy toxic waste from the banks and resell it. I think it's going to be a failure. They're guaranteeing the buyers against loss. They're guaranteeing them essentially 20%. And the government takes all of the losses, which is you and I, because we're taxpayers. And it is another sweetheart deal. And people are starting to realize that. And there's been some eminent professors from university who say this is a nightmare. They're not anywhere near to fixing their problems. And so these problems and the earnings and other things are going to take down the stock market. And they don't want it to go to 6,600 in the Dow. They'd like it to go to 7,000 or 7,200 if they can. And that's why you see them bashing gold. And it closed just under 870 today. And that's a breakdown. And my guess is probably it could go as low here as 845. There was no respite during the course of the day. How much did you say it was down on the day?
I was looking at 20 down 26.
At?
868.
Yeah. You're only $20 away. One of the very important things that happened today, and I'll know better at the break, because that's when I get the final prices. The gold shares were down around 3%, the producers. And for having gold off as much as it is, that was an extremely good performance. So what the shares are saying to us is that we don't think this is going to go very deep. Whether that is the case, only time will tell. But when you have corrections like this, if you can be a buyer, you're a buyer. And just take advantage of it. I don't know where the bottom is. Nobody does now on a breakdown. I really don't think it's going down to 750 or 800. I just don't. The fundamentals are so strong for gold. And people are still fleeing currencies. They're not thinking that the SDR is going to become a world currency that's going to help everybody. They don't even know what an SDR is. I mean, if you stopped 1,000 people on the street, on Wall Street, and asked them, do you know what a special drawing right is? They'll say no. Maybe you get, on Wall Street, you might get 7 or 8 or 9% that know. If you ask it on Main Street someplace, it'll be 1 or 2. So the SDR is not an answer. It's another fiat currency. They just say, Turkey, how much money do you need? I think we need like 2 billion SDRs. Okay, here they are. I mean, it's just like plucking them off a tree. The whole thing is absurd and insane. And we've got a lot of links on the next issue in that area. So use it as a buying opportunity. I'm not telling anybody to sell anything. I'd be a buyer. In fact, I am a buyer. And so that's that. Let's get on with the questions. We've got quite a few today.
Let me just make a comment here,
Bob.
Bob.
No, you can't make any comments. Go ahead.
Gold is at the same level here as when we had that spike of $60. I mean, this is right about where it was.
Well, that's good. That's a good point.
So, I mean, really, gold is not that far off, and I think if anything was a little abnormal was that $60 spike.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point. That again, that's why they call you Queen Melody,
the diva. But no, I mean, really, I mean, this is where it was at, and you know, business it's been strange since that spike, and so I don't think people really.
I don't think selling again.
I don't think people bought into that spike. You know.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. And you know, we tested 900 6 times, and it broke. And that's not normal. The government had to be in there bashing it because they get horrible news coming. And, you know, gold goes back up to 960 or 1,000 again, and all that bad news is coming out, and they try to whack it again. But they're going to run out of ammunition. And the IMF sale, if and when it ever happens, is not going to affect the market. So don't let anybody bamboozle you when telling you that it will.
I mean,
so here we go, Michael. What's that?
And even what they plan on selling, I mean, it's almost kind of trivial compared to the trillions of dollars
that are being given away.
Yeah. I mean,
you got a great point. We talked about that on Friday, and it's minuscule. You know, the European Banking Group has an agreement, it's up this year, it'll be renewed, to sell 500 tons a year. They've been selling 390. This year they'll probably, at the rate they're going, they'll probably sell 300 tons. Mm-hmm. Now that means they won't sell any. They take their gold off the market if the IMF is going to sell, because they don't want to supposedly inordinately run the price down. And so they would come off the market. And